Hi Lumineers, Jamie Butler here. Normally I would be behind the camera since it is Wednesday at 1 o'clock here at the Center for Love and Light in Atlanta, Georgia. I usually host these 30-minute chats that we have, but our dear practitioner Kenya Salter Jacksons couldn't make it in today, so here I am. I hope you will join me today. I'm going to share this. This is how savvy we are. This is what I normally do behind the screens. And I'd like today to talk about how to heal with this virus going on out there. I'm sure you have had some experiences with this already. Let's share this. I'm going to share to a page. I'm so good at this. Look, join me, and I'll write something else on it later. Okay. So I'm sure you guys have ran into this virus at some point, whether it's just been having nerves and anxiety from watching the news or reading the news, or even to having a friend or knowing somebody across the globe who is experiencing it. So this is a pretty intense time. Not only are there energetic alignments, I mean, we can get into the stars, we can talk about March. Guys, if you want to know astrology and what's going on in March, check out the video on the Center for Love and Light's Facebook page with Laura Boone as she talks about the transits in March, because there's a lot going down or on. And this is leaving some of us who are more sensitive or more aligned with starseed energy, or that kind of empathic ability that you just can't really put your finger on. So those of you, you're really getting hit a lot with these energy shifts. You're going to have more anxiety. You're going to have more zombie-like feelings. How's that? I think it describes it perfectly fine. Hey Nancy, it's good to see you. Where you are participating, but you don't really feel like you're behind your eyes, or you are happy on the inside and everything is fine, but you feel like there's a wet blanket over you, so you look like you're tired and people are asking you all the time, hey, are you feeling okay? Is everything all right with you? And you're like, yeah, I guess I just need to sleep more. And of course we just had the time change, which can affect us even though it's just a 1 hour loss. So all of these things into play, and then we have this virus coming out. So let's address the anxiety and the fear, not just from the stars aligning and energy shifting and the energy in our bodies opening up and getting more deep, meaning able to hold more energy without side effect. So we're processing a lot more on kind of a normal foundation, right? So we've upped our game. That was happening last year, beginning of this year. Now we're processing. And now we're having this global experience. Hey, Corey Davins. I thought you were in your room doing a massage. Oh. So some of these ways that we can help is address the fear and the anxiety and the worry that you're having. Is it indeed about the virus and what's going on, or is it related to this global or astrology kind of awakening, the energy that's moving through us? So once we can separate those two, then we can manage them. So if we're dealing with anxiety, fear, or worry about something that's much greater and it's not about the virus, then I want you to start looking at your monotasking abilities. That means to simply be able to focus on one thing at a time. And for a lot of us, that will be really frustrating because we're trained to get through the day, do a whole bunch of this at once, and feel successful because we can think about many things at once, but we're kind of not completing those tasks 100% because we are multitasking. So when we get down to the monotask, you're not going to be as fast at it. Just note that, put that down on paper. Not as fast when I monotask. I didn't mean to rhyme, but that was cute. And be kind to yourself when you're doing this. But when we start to take on the monotask, we can then not only do the task we're focused on, we strengthen the ability in our mind to dismiss those things around that aren't serving the purpose. And that's the muscle that I want you guys to really build. It is so helpful and so useful when we're going through these energy jumps like we are right now in March. And when you get into the fear or the anxiety, you can flip on that monotask thinking, that processing, and you will clear a path. I'd like to say easily, but sometimes it's not easy, but it'll be done with more clarity. You'll be like, oh yeah, this is what I'm looking at, and this is all the stuff on the side that I don't want to see anymore because it's not helping me, because it's grounding me, it's anchoring me, it's confusing me, it's tactics that I'm putting in my way so that, I don't know, I stay a victim or I don't succeed, or that I'm proving that the story that I tell myself is right. It's very true. What you believe in is what's going to happen to you. So if you believe that the victimhood or the non-success or the complications with money or whatever it is serving you and who you are, then that's what you're going to be keeping. So with monotasking, we can actually clear out some of those things that you're really ready to let go of, but maybe they're just playing in the background because you didn't realize you left it on. It's kind of like leaving the house and you left lights on. You're not using them, but they're activated. And then you come home and you're like, oh, there's a lot of lights on. I can see that now. And you start turning them off. Monotasking does that for you. So build your skill, whether it is writing an email, only focus on that email. If you're eating a dinner, only focus on that dinner. If you're talking to your child or your lover, only speak to them. Let all the other thoughts and all the other things behind you that say, hey, you really need to finish this so you can go grocery shopping, so you can get the milk, so you have that for tomorrow's cereal, let it go. Just say, I'm not going to deal with that. If I'm meant to remember or do everything that's on the perimeter, it's going to come back to me. And if you start developing that belief system, then you can put yourself in the ease of energy rather than in the control over it, which can be kind of difficult. Now, if you've decided that some of your anxiety or your fear, oh, Tatiana is here. Hi. I wanted to know how your amethyst was doing wherever you placed it, but we could talk about that later. If you've identified that your anxiety or that your fear that you're having right now is related to the coronavirus, then let's look at that. So this fear, this worry, anxiety is not serving a purpose in this case. It is not helping you combat or be a better participant in the situation. It's actually stopping you from probably thinking clearer, getting a good night's sleep, being able to be productive in your own life. So when we have these kinds of fears, what I like to do is look at the facts. So you guys are going to have to really get down and dirty and do some research. You're like, what is research? What this is going to be, oh, hi Genevieve, is getting online and finding reputable, that's a good word, sources that give you the information. So the coronavirus is like the flu. It is going to spread, what did they say, 3 to 5 times more than what the flu does. It's going to affect a lot of us. Under 50, it looks with a healthy immune system, it looks like you're going to be able to process this. Over 50, you might have a little bit more difficulty. Over 50 with a weakened immune system, you're going to need some support. So this might be the first time in your life that you've come across something that has the ability to spread like this, and it might be the first time in your life that you have the responsibility of being a outright stand-up citizen to be able to prioritize yourself so that you are helping other people in your community. So let's say if you're not feeling good, or let's say you tested positive and you're a young chap, and of course it's not going to bother you, but if you're out and about and you're allowing it to spread, because it does spread easy, how is that going to affect not only your community, but your integrity and how you show up in this world? So this is going to really affect all of our lives, and we are going to spend some time at home a little bit, a little more homebody, which if you're asking me, I don't really mind. And I've heard a lot of Lumineers say, I can't wait for it to come my way. I get 2 weeks home with my family. That's a nice positive way of thinking about it. But now let's look at it a little bit more global because it is everywhere. Let's take the time to use our energy, our healing abilities, and especially our mindset to help this global situation run with a lot more ease. And some ways that we can do that is taking out 3 to 5 minutes a day. I know it's not a lot, right? It's probably the same amount of time it takes you to go to the bathroom. I can't believe I used that as an example, but that's what just came out of my mouth. But let's say that's it. You're going to be wherever you are and monotask for 3 to 5 minutes and send a bright white love. So if you don't understand what sending love is, imagine it, and do use your imagination. I'm not asking you to get really technical here. The use of your imagination does manipulate energy, and that's all we're needing right now is a high vibrational manipulation of energy. So when you think of love, imagine a very giggly, snuggly, healthy, high vibration. So if you can't imagine high vibration, imagine a high note that's in harmony. So when we think of things in harmony, they work well with the community and work well with others. So it provides a very safe space. When we're giving love to something and this high vibrational energy, it can disrupt the energetic pattern of what it's doing. So if we take time every day, guys, 3 to 5 minutes, monotask on healing the virus itself and how it spreads, we can actually have an influence of what this does globally. And that does sound woo-woo, but it's very true. And science is behind this on how mindset, belief systems have an effect on the outcome. So let's provide the cause and watch the effect. So in 3 to 5 minutes, you can settle in. You can be on a bus, you can be on the subway, you can be on the metro. Please don't do it while you're driving your car. I don't think that's super responsible. You could sit down, lay down. You could do it before you go to bed, right when you wake up. And hold your breath. Pay attention to your breath. Hold space for your breath is what I meant. I don't want you to hold your breath for 3 to 5 minutes. My God. I know I can't do that. I want you to pay attention to your breath. How it feels coming into the body and how it feels coming out of the body. And if it's in through the nose, out through the mouth, great. In through the mouth, out through the mouth, great. No preference on that. But I want you to pay attention what it's like to actually breathe in and to be a living source, this life, to embody this energy and to be capable of breathing in. I want you to hold that for as long as you can and then release it all. And as you're releasing it, I want you to activate your imagination again. And I want you to pretend that you're unraveling, untying knots and bows of everything that you entangled yourself in. You personally. So your relationships, your work, your pets, your family, your whatever you're working on. And I want you to see as you breathe out, you're untangling everything and it's coming loose. And when you're breathing out, I want you to now to imagine that the earth, what you live on, remember that planet? I know we sometimes tend to ignore her. That she is taking what you're breathing out and able to kind of absorb it and take it into the ground and reuse it. You know, when we're thinking in terms of energy, it's always beneficial to see the end of the story. How does the energy recycle? Where does it go? Because if you leave stories open-ended like this, your brain, the logic part, you know, the one that doesn't always like to connect to your emotions and be let's say, a comrade in all of this spiritual stuff, it likes to go rogue and tell you what you're doing wrong all the time, the risk, assessment. If you leave it open, sometimes the logic will come in and go, well, now you're just littering. Now you're just putting your shit everywhere and nobody needs your shit. And now, what are you doing with this? So I want you to know that the earth can take all that energy, vibrations, those thoughts, those situations that you don't need, that you don't use, that don't serve you, and can absorb it and use it for the betterment of growth. for enlightenment, to evolve, whatever words you need to use them. So we've got your breath going on, and by now you're like 1 to 2 minutes into this 3 to 5 minute ask that I'm saying. Pretty cool. So you've gotten into the breath and you can see everything unwind and come out. Then I want you to imagine that you can see, let's see, so for some people this will work, so I'll give it 2 different ways. That you can see the globe. Some people can't imagine in that vast or that quickly a large space like that. But if you can, the next thing would be pretend or imagine that in here, third eye, in your imagination spot, that you can see the earth. And now, when you breathe in, you're breathing in this life and everything. And now when you breathe out, you're going to breathe out love. Everything that is good about life. Everything that is sweet, that is delicious, that pulls you into passion and excitement, that makes you just tear up because life is so good. And you're going to breathe that out, and you're going to breathe it on the earth. Of course, the earth in your mind's eye is going to be like, this big. And you're going to be this big, and you're going to be able to breathe all around it like this beautiful white fog or white mist that is coming straight from within you, straight from your heart. And you'll do several of those breaths. And then when you're complete with that, I want you to imagine kind of yourself shrinking back down and the earth being big. And then you kind of come back into your daily routine. Simple as that. Now, for those of you who have a hard time imagining the earth because it's just way too big or way too vast, I want you to imagine the coronavirus. So it's very small, isn't it? And let's recall our belief and our understanding that everything is one. That means that we're all connected energetically, intertwined. Bam, bam, bam. So when you are thinking of one coronavirus, one little one, is connected to all of it. So if you can imagine one, then I want you to see it in front of you. Imagine that it's in front of you. And you're going to be breathing in, and you're going to be breathing out that love, that sweetness, that zest for life. And I want you to imagine putting that white fog of love all around it. So when you're participating energetically, giving light, giving energy, giving thought, giving emotion to a particular person or situation, all you can do is give that vibrational energy. That's it. That's it. You can't make the outcome. You can't choose what the change is going to be. You can hold that intent. You can hold the intent, but you cannot make that change. So the coronavirus, the earth that you're breathing the love on, is going to take that vibration and power that energy up to use it to what's needed the most. So for us, the virus is unnatural. When you give this kind of energy to the virus, it is going to change. It's going to vibrate so high that this virus won't be feeling too good. It'll be like 3 sheets to the wind, too many tequila shots, and it'll want to go to bed. It'll just want to check out. This is also what happens when we dose energy with cancer. We give it such a high vibrational energy that it can't thrive. It's not a healthy environment, and so it begins to dissolve and dissipate, and it begins to die. So this is what will happen with the virus. I would personally like to give love to the earth because there are so many other things happening well beyond this virus, even though it is kind of first and foremost in our line of sight right now, and it is creating a lot of upheavals. But I want you to know that we are all in the right place. And I've heard from a lot of lumineers asking, is this man-made? Was this done on purpose? Here's what Spirit says. So let's get into Spirit's message next, is that no, it was not man-made, that this was a natural element, and that it was transferred to people. Spirit also says that for April, the month of April, it's going to get pretty crazy. And the craziest thing about the virus is going to be people's reactions to it, the anxiety, the worry, and the fear. And so when we have masses of people focused on one thing and feeling one thing, it expands further and has more impact than just one person doing it. So here we have, I know we have luminaires all over the world, but I can only do a snapshot of United States right now. We're looking at presidential elections. We're looking at feeling, some of us in the States, feeling as if we haven't had all the truth and that there's some easiness in our political kind of climate. And now we have the coronavirus on top of it that is creating more anxiety and fear. So the masses here where we are vibrating from this very uneasy spot. So the empathic and the sensitive people who are waking up, who have their shit together and don't feel like they're part of all this relationship, are processing this kind of like, oh my God, I don't know why. Like, I can barely get out of bed and I don't feel like moving and I really would like more ice cream, please. And, are starting to pacify and needing more attention on self-care. So this is because the masses are focused on it. So Spirit was telling me that in March, where we are now, of course, we're going to get more and more and more results of people having the coronavirus. But then come April, it's going to hit a saturation mark where it's going to spread rapidly. And come on, guys, we've been told these stories and we've seen these movies where terrible things spread rapidly and everybody dies. And that's our only experience that we have with this. A lot of us have not been through situations like this where there is mass contagion, and we tend to rely on entertainment, I don't know why, to kind of give us that, here's how it's going to happen. So let's set aside what we've learned through entertainment, movies, and commercials and look at what really is happening. And this is something that we can definitely maintain, contain, and move away from. So from the A months is what Spirit keeps telling me. April is a good peak to August, where we kind of stop hearing about it. So enjoy a really strange summer of 2020, which is clear sight and clear vision. This is going to show us a lot when this goes away. When we're looking back and we're seeing what's happened and how we managed and how we handled, guys, we are going to have eyes wide open. It's going to be pretty neat. Hi, Barrett. Oh, hi, Genevieve. She's saying in yoga she dedicated her peaceful time in class to the virus, wrapping it in peace. And Nancy, you can visualize the earth or you can visualize the virus. Whichever one is easier for you is the one I want you to go for. I think the big work there and the act of doing this service of giving energy to the situation is the monotasking. Can you do a single thought for the 3 to 5 minutes? Hi, Tom. Yes, there's a lot of people who are talking about stocking up. So if you do need to be at home for 2 weeks, which is kind of funny, Maitland loves to talk about, get your stuff together. At least have enough to support yourself food-wise and for your animals. Please think of them as well and what they would need for those 2 weeks in case you do need to stay at home. Yeah, Shellyham, sounds like this year in general is going to be crazy. Chris, you're a sensitive person as well? Yeah. Hi, Naples, Florida. Hi, Mark. It's good to see you here. Hi, Zay. Carrie Reeser. Oh my God, hi, Carrie. You want ice cream too? I had it yesterday. It was actually frozen yogurt, but it tasted so good. It was like ice cream. Right? It's like we want to pacify ourselves and give us those things that we need to say, it's okay, it's okay, it's okay. So if sleep is that for you, you're going to be doing more of it. If exercise is that for you, you're going to be doing more of it. But in general, I hope this is helping you process kind of what's going on, because we have these big things happening. Space, Space, that's pretty big. Astrologically, a lot is shifting and challenging who we are on Earth, especially if we have connections to other planets or to the beyond. You're going to be feeling that, and that's on a deeper level, deeper chakra level. It's another enlightenment. And then we have the virus, and then in some countries we have dealing with the political climate. You guys got your tools? It's so nice to see you here. I am a little sad that Kenya's not here. I love her to bits, and I can't wait for you guys to chat with her. She's phenomenal. But we will have her on soon, and I'll be back here in a few weeks. We're going to be speaking with Lindsay, who is a pranic breath work healer, coming up soon, and we're going to be talking to Jay Greathouse, which she is a talk therapist, a psychologist who does energy work and intuitive like coaching and really helping people heal. She's phenomenal. You guys good? It's hard to say goodbye. Tom, I do a nightly planet hug. I like that. I could do a nightly hug. So Chris, my son's father's taking him to Disney World next week, and I'm scared to death. Chris, so I understand. Actually, I just got back from Disney 2 days ago and flew through Hartsfield, where there have been known cases. Went to Disney. They did a great job. They had soap, hand washing stations. They had hand sanitizer all over every ride and almost every 50 feet. People there were very kind. You did hear coughs, and I think you would hear coughs wherever you go, but you're kind of more aware of it now. But again, as long as we keep our hands clean and we keep them out of our body holes, and you can identify the holes, people, I don't think I need to do that for you, you're going to be okay. If you are over 50, or if you have a compromised immune system, I would chill out for the next few months. Just lay low. It doesn't mean be a prisoner in your own home. Please don't do that. But I would just choose wisely where you go and just stay positive. I think this is a great time and a great opportunity to understand the power of your mindset and what it can do for you. Because if you believe that you're going to get out there and you're going to get it, come on guys, you're writing your own story. What are you going to do? You're going to get it. And you're going to have to manage it. And you're going to have to say, I told you I was going to get it. It's always me. It's always it happens to me. You're like, why are you doing that to you? So if you feel like you are susceptible to it, then you are. Then chill out, strengthen the noggin, do some monotasking, get the facts, right? We don't need to let fear lead our lives. We have the right to lead our own lives. Guys, got to make that choice. If you want to change in life, you have to do it yourself. I know. You might have ordered like the dude or the dame or whatever on the white horse to come in and sweep you up and like give you millions of dollars and just have a happy life, right? It's always nice to think about. But you are that one on the horse. So take some time and rescue yourself. Practice some monotasking. What do we have? You're welcome, Chris. Does the collective worrying manifest the virus to spread? Hey, Lori, that was a great question. So it can feed energy to the virus to spread, but it's more of this way. When we do the collective worry, the worry vibration is a heady thing. And that's not really a virus thing, that's a people thing. So when we collectively worry and freak out, then we are weakening the body's kind of immune system and making the body more susceptible to carry the virus. Does that make sense? So it's not making the virus stronger, it's making the mental state weaker, and it's making the immune system weaker and the body more susceptible. Again, it doesn't mean that it will end, and I'm being very blunt here. If you're doing this, it doesn't mean that it's going to end in death, because there have been cases of coronavirus with end of life. And I send big love to those who have experienced that kind of transition or know somebody in that world. But it will weaken the body's system to be more susceptible to these things that are around. How do you handle your dyslexia? You seem to be handling reading threads very well. Thank you, Shellyham. I take it slow. You'll see me. I'll say some things completely backwards or skip over a word, but that's very sweet. Thank you. It's practice. I'm going to love this comment. Ooh, ooh, taking the compliment. Hey, Melissa. I love you to bits too, Carrie Reeser. Guys, Carrie Reeser was my best bud in high school and college. Inseparable. I have so many stories that could make me just pee in my pants when I think about her and what we've done together. What do you think our government is? Oh, why? See, there you go, Shelly. So Chris is asking, why do you think our government is underplaying this? Well, I can only speak from my viewpoint and my opinion, and then I'll kind of add in what Spirit's saying. But in my opinion, underplaying it is helping the fear factor. And also, I feel that in our leadership right now, our leadership is a little bit more immature when it's coming to educating people on what is truly happening, and that our leadership right now tends to take a confusion tactic or an over-explaining without telling you anything tactic to give a false sense of security to help people feel like everything is fine. So that's my opinion and my assessment. Spirit is saying that overall it's helping by the government kind of failing to stand up and really being very forward with what this is, and even including networks, cable, TV, radios, to have ads or even to educate and have lessons about what this is and what we can do, and help educate larger corporations and companies and public places on how we can better humanity by caring for each other. So Spirit is saying, because they're not doing this, we're seeing where the weak link is, so that when the next round of people who come in power, they will say, you know what, I didn't like how it was done then, so I'm changing it and I'm going to do it different now. So it's helping a better future by having this dip in care providing. Thank you, guys. Hi, Irene. Michelle, I just saw a news report of a lady, I think in her 60s, and her husband who had weakened immune system from a kidney transplant. They were on the quarantine cruise ship. She had no symptoms other than she had a slight fever, and that was it. Yeah, symptoms range in all kinds. Each person is going to have show of different symptoms. You might not even feel like you have it. It's the same with the flu. Some people get the flu and they're down. They're down for 2 weeks, 3 weeks. You know, and when I got the flu last year, I think I was down for 3 days and then totally felt fine. It was like crazy. But of course I was hitting the herbs. Not that kind of herbs, guys. I love you, Lumineers. I'll show you what I hit. Let's see. Just had to bend down and dig in my bag. Thanks to Colleen Ziegler. But I like to take phytocillin. It strengthens the tissue in the sinus, lungs, and digestive system. Oh, phytocillin. And you only take this when you feel like you have symptoms. And for me, it works really well. Guys, muscle test it. And of course, if you're on any medication, you need to talk to your doctor before you take any kind of herbs or plants, because they can contradict each other. But I don't know of anything that this does. But it's always good to stay in really good communication to your care providers. Lori, you're welcome. In Italy, we're on lockdown now. It's time. Yes. Oh gosh. Sierra, you are on lockdown right now. But it's really great. It's good, aggressive care providing, because look at what's going to happen there. You're going to pass all of this and you guys are going to be able to move forward. So, from us watching from abroad, again, I can only talk from my set of eyeballs, but it's really impressive to watch how other countries are reaching out and really caring for everybody. And they're not really looking at, their financial status and saying, we're going to lose this amount of money, so we can't do quarantine. We've got to keep the money up and running. We have to keep our country strong, but not our people. So it's very heartwarming to see how each country is reacting and caring, How are Grace and Maitland doing? They're doing great. They're the ones who are chatting with me today. When might you do more channelings and add to the network? I know, Shelley. I'm going to take a year off on the network, and so that puts me into September. It was so much work, and I didn't realize what kind of burnout I was doing. So I'm taking a step back, and starting tomorrow, I'm going to start filming some classes, because the Verity class didn't take off, where I was going to help educate people in spiritual business. Or businesses that are based in spirituality or energy. So I'm going to do individual little classes, and those are going to go up YouTube, also on my website. And then hopefully come September, I'm going to kind of restructure the videos and how we put them up on the network. Since it's a free site, I kind of want to keep it that way. I don't really want to put commercials on it. So I got to find the right people. But thank you for asking about the network. I miss it. I miss that Jesse too. He's the best. Sending you beautiful. Oh, thank you. Maitland will definitely be around. We'll have a channeling March 20th, and we're thinking about doing smaller, intimate channelings. So there's maybe 20 people in the room. And we toyed around a little bit with doing smaller, intimate online channeling. So you'd buy a ticket, you'd be able to ask your questions and everything. But we're still kind of up in the air with how we're shifting things. But Luminaires, thank you so much for listening and being here today. I am honored that I was able to fill the slot, with Kenya not being here, but I do miss her. And I will see you this Friday. I'll be doing a live stream with Brian Mercer for Animals in the Light, which is a book that we're collaborating on, as well as with Maitland. And that's really fun. You can ask all your animal questions there. And normally on Tuesdays, you can find me on Griff's Gifts on the Facebook and YouTube. And Marshawn Kramer, Griff's mother, asks questions and helps support families who have lost or transitioned children. And for me, I'm going to check out. Katie says, what spirits are in the room right now? So far, I just have Maitland and I have Grace. I kind of asked everybody else to step out because it gets very loud. You guys are the best. A large channeling? Oh, goodness. Hi, Peter. All right, guys. Have a beautiful rest of your Wednesday, hump day, middle of the weekday, great day, best day. I love the Wednesday. Gives you a moment to reset. How are you going to spend the rest of your week? How are you going to show up for yourself? How are you going to switch to that monotasking? How are you going to wire yourself to a higher vibrational lifestyle? Because this is it. I'll see you in maybe Friday or 2 weeks back on the Center for Love and Light at 1 o'clock. Take care, guys. Bye.